Hey everyone, Shabby Gamer here, and welcome to our next episode of the WWE 2K16 Universe Mode. It is finally here, the finale of our second season of our Universe Mode, I think it is, before we start our final one, of course, tomorrow. But yeah, this is going to be Battleground, the finale pay-per-view for both Raw and SmackDown. Going to be a very interesting night here for you. Of course, we are going to split this into two videos as of normal. Our first 4 matches will be on this episode, and then our final 3 matches will be on the next video, which should be uploaded very much straight after this one anyway, I think. Yeah, normally. About an hour or two after this one, yeah. So let's have a quick look at the card I've got set for you this evening. We're going to start things off in quite spectacular fashion as well with the SmackDown Championship match. The Rock defends against Stone Cold Steve Austin. Match number 2 sees the Raw Tag Team Champions Edge and Christian defending their belts against Tama Tonga and Tanga Roa. Next, we're going to see AJ Styles take on Seth Rollins. I believe that is a tables match, that one. I can't honestly remember. I made this card a minute ago and I can't remember what I've done with it now. And then the final match of part number 1 of the video will be Cesaro defending his European Championship against Tommy End. Then into our second video is going to be American Alpha, Jason Jordan, Chad Gable taking on the Tag Team Champions of Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows. Also going to see a Cruiserweight Championship ladder match as Phoenix defends against Rich Swann, Kalisto, Johnny Gargano, Eddie Guerrero and Jack Evans. And then of course our main event of the evening is going to be a fatal 4-way Falls Count Anywhere match with Daniel Bryan, The Rock, Goldberg and Owen Hart. So like I said, we are going to watch the 4 matches in this first episode. The SmackDown Championship match, the Tag Team Championship match, the IC Championship and the European Championship. So without further ado, let's get straight into our opening match of the evening. And there is confirmation of that first match. Like I said, it is going to be The Rock defending his SmackDown Championship against Stone Cold Steve Austin. And what a match this is going to be. 2 titans of wrestling clashing in the Battleground ring here in our finale episode. And what a way to kick things off as well. And that's the way the game seems to like to do it with 2 major championships. The game always seems to like to have one major championship in the main event and the other one to open the show. I think it just gets people's blood pumping to see such an important match straight off the bat. And it wouldn't surprise me. It would surprise me if they did it with SummerSlam coming up in a couple of weeks' time in the real WWE. But at the same time, it wouldn't. Because like I said, it sort of gets the blood flowing. I think if they... See, the problem is if they put Dean Ambrose versus Dolph Ziggler quite early in the card, there could end up being problems. I think Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor is going to be the main event. Dean Ambrose versus Dolph Ziggler might be the match just before that. And then Orton versus Lesnar. I don't know if Orton versus Lesnar is going to main event the show or what. I wonder if Orton versus Lesnar is going to have any sort of reward for the brand that wins. Like, for example, we've done draft steel matches in the past, haven't we, where the winner gets a draft steel. And it'll be interesting to see if WWE would to do something like that. Or maybe saying, look, if you win this match, then you get to take one member of NXT into your roster. Could be a very good thing as well. And here comes Stone Cold Steve... that's The Rock, that is there. Here comes The Rock, carrying the SmackDown Championship. The last time he will be carrying it down to the ring, but will he be carrying it away from the ring at the end of this match? Or will it be Stone Cold Steve Austin? Will The Rock finish this Universe Mode and forever be known as a SmackDown Champion? Or will Stone Cold Steve Austin steal it at the last hurdle? It's going to be a great match, this too. These 2 guys are really 2 of the top guys that we've ever had to offer in their entire history. Had some of the best matches against each other. Most notably, I think it was WrestleMania 20, maybe 18. I can't remember. There's one WrestleMania that I absolutely love, and I can't remember what it was. It was an amazing WrestleMania. It was the one that started off with Kane versus Big Show versus Raven. It had Shane O'Mac versus Vince O'Mac. It had Rock versus Austin as the main event. It had Undertaker versus Triple H in a Falls Count Anywhere match. It had... Oh, I'm not playing the match. it had some really cracking matches from start to finish. I think it had the TLC match as well. I have to try and watch that one night when I get a chance, because it really was an incredible event. But talking of incredible events, hopefully we're going to match it right here at WWE Battleground. The finale episode in what is our universe mode. Of course, we are going to be starting a new universe mode more or less straight after this one, with the new rosters from Raw, SmackDown and NXT. So keep an eye out for them. Hopefully the first episode of Raw should be uploaded tomorrow night. Or tomorrow morning, should I say, sorry. I normally upload for about midday, Greenwich Mean Time. I don't know what that means in America. I don't know if that means you get it earlier or later. I'm not 100% sure because I have no idea the time differences over there. Yeah, I've got no idea. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. That's gonna be pretty good. I'm looking forward to doing that. As I've said earlier on, a few episodes back, I'm probably going to stick to some of the main storylines that are going on to start with. So we'll feud Ambrose and Ziggler for the championship. We'll feud Rollins and Finn Balor for the championship as well. We'll probably do... I don't know what other feuds are going on, to tell the truth. I'm trying to think now. Did Zack Ryder got anything going on? I can't remember if Zack Ryder's going for the championship again. I don't know if they've really made any other sort of major matches. We'll obviously start off with Orton versus Lesnar as well. We'll do that as one of our big matches for the pay-per-view. And we may even get to the pay-per-view before WWE does in real life, because it's going to be 3 brands a week, so if I get the time, I'm going to try and upload extra and we'll get ahead of ourselves. If not, then we'll at least stick to 1 episode a week of each brand. Rock now dragging Austin into the middle of the ring. Drops into the pin, the first pinfall of the match. 1, 2... Oh, almost a 3 count already. Rock bringing Austin back up to his feet. Sends him into the corner. And I was mentioning on some of my previous videos recently as well, just to try and get your guys' opinion on this, I'm thinking of next year on 2K17 of just sticking to 1 brand at a time. So maybe we just blitz out maybe 3 months worth of Raw, but obviously not over the case of 3 months. We'll just do a 3-month period, and then we'll make like a finale episode and we'll finish it there, and then maybe we'll do 3 months of SmackDown and then 3 months of NXT, and then I think maybe doing like a full season of Lucha Underground, like they have like a 25 episode season of Lucha Underground, and then maybe we do like a 2 or 3 months of Ring of Honor as well. And then somebody also made I've not gone through my comments in a couple of weeks. I need to go through and do them at the moment. But somebody did also mention, I just saw a brief part of it, of potentially making up our own brand, which I thought was quite a clever idea. We could do that and make up our own brand for a season. Again, we'll probably just do about 20 or 30 episodes of this one universe mode brand, and then we'll probably finish it off right there and start again something new. Because I think the problem is when you go too far in, it starts to get a little bit samey, and I want to just try and continue to make everything evolve and make things different. And I think at the moment we've done that. We've done 2 universe modes since we started 2K16. This is going to be the end of our second, and our 3rd universe mode is going to last for, well, until 2K17 comes out at least anyway. There's the pin there by Austin. 2. It's only a 2 count. So if I keep going quiet, I'm drinking at the same time. Austin now just slowing the pace of the match down, just twisting the head of The Rock. And I know what you're thinking. It's probably a little bit strange is of having this match as the opening match, but at the same time it's like I said earlier on, it's a good way to get the crowd pumped, and the game does like to do that. And I think WWE did start doing that for a while. I don't think people really understood the concept of why WWE was doing what they were doing, because when Daniel Bryan versus Sheamus opened up WrestleMania a few years back, granted, the fact that Granted, the fact that they made the match so disappointingly short was quite annoying. But if the match had been a good, decent match, then I wouldn't have had a problem, because again, it just sets the mood for what the rest of the event is going to be like. Then again, it could be the case of we could use like an Intercontinental Championship match or something on them sort of lines. But still, I like this idea. I think it maybe would have worked out. I don't know if it would have worked out better the way around. I think Austin versus The Rock is such a legendary match that it could have worked out either way. But I definitely wanted to have one of the main championship matches in part number 1 of the video and one in the second part. Maybe we should have probably switched the European Championship match in this match though. But still, either way, we are here now and I'm enjoying this one. And now Austin seems to have got a little bit agitated here. He's taking the top off the announce table and removing the monitors as well. This could be an interesting way to start this pay-per-view if Austin, maybe is he just taking his aggression out on the announce table possibly, but Rock catches him, takes him up onto the shoulders into the Samoan drop. Now Rock bringing Austin back up to his feet. There's the spine buster. And Austin taking his aggression out on the announce table could end up being a problem for him. No, Rock bringing Austin back up to his feet and Austin catching the Rock there with an uppercut. Now Rock sending Austin into the corner. And now a snake eyes on the top rope as well. Rock spinning Austin round. Dragging him into the middle of the ring. Russian leg sweep. And at the moment, The Rock is looking like the dominant force in this match at the moment. Austin struggled for momentum. Rock now with that side headlock. Rock now into the front chancery. Big elbow to the back of the head of Austin. And I send him straight over the top rope as well, crashing to the ground below. Rock following Austin on the outside. Went for the big stomp, but Austin back up to his feet. Rock catching Austin with that clothesline. Again, bringing him back up to his feet. Couple of big right hands now, throwing Austin into the barrier as well. And Rock really showed an aggressive side here. On a big, a stiff kneeling DDT there by The Rock on Austin. On the matting on the outside. That matting is so thin, it's barely any protection at all. Austin's head may have just hit the concrete. But Austin's back up. There's a clothesline there on The Rock. And Austin slides back into the ring. Remember, Austin cannot win the championship by countout. If Rock is counted out, then Rock will retain his championship. Rock does slide back in there. He doesn't want to retain his championship by countout. He wants to win this match. And a running, spinning neckbreaker on Austin. Rock dropping into the pin. 1, 2. It's only a 2 count. Both guys struggling, you just see. Back up to their feet though. Austin catches The Rock out of nowhere with the stunner. Is that going to be enough to the championship to change hands here? Austin, go for the pin. What are you doing? Austin just stood there looking at the grounded Rock for a minute. And it's not enough. You think to yourself, Austin, if you pinned him straight away, you may have had this one. Wow. Austin may have had this one. But he just waited too long before he pinned The Rock. But now Austin lining Rock up again. And it's another stunner. A second Stone Cold Stunner on The Rock. And surely that's going to be enough. A second stunner. There's no way The Rock's kicking out of that. And he doesn't. Stone Cold Steve Austin wins the SmackDown Championship in our finale episode. And he is going to walk out of this universe mode with the SmackDown Championship. As I said earlier on, Rock looked dominant through most of this match. He really did, and I'm surprised The Rock did not pull it off, but it was just Austin who managed to come out with the goods when he needed them. As we see just a few more of the highlights. And you see that Rock descending on Austin in the corner. Austin just catches him with that kick and then a stunner. But that wasn't enough. But you think to yourself, Austin, this time here where you're stood there just staring down at the ground and Rock, if you'd pinned him earlier, you may have got the win earlier. But Rock kicked out, and then Austin knew it needed to take something special to finish the Rock off, and that something special was going to be another one of these. Boom. The Rock, the best person at selling a Stone Cold Steve Austin stunner, got caught by one, and there was the free count. So a great win here for Austin. He's leaving the Universe mode with the SmackDown Championship. Rock will be unhappy with this one. He's held the belt for quite some time now and loses it at his last title defense. I honestly thought Rock was going to win this one. Austin looked a little bit sidetracked. He looked a little bit too aggressive for his own good. He didn't look very grounded, but it worked for him in the end. And here is our second match of the evening. It is going to be Edge and Christian defending their tag team championships against the Empire, Tama Tonga and Tangaroa. And this is a Tornado Tag Team Extreme Rules match. And here we go. We're going to start things off with the entrance of the challengers by the looks of it. Tama Tonga and Tangaroa. Be really interesting with these two if they can pull this off on the last chance. They've been a very up and down tag team of the Empire. They've had some opportunities to do well, and on most occasions they've done okay, but they've not done anything special. However, over the last couple of weeks, they've really managed to turn this one round. It never looked like they were going to... It never looked like he was going to do... They were going to do well. It never looked like they were going to defeat the Nation of Domination either, really, but... They did manage to pull it off on the night of the pay-per-view. And this one could really go either way. I think Edge and Christian might just have the slight edge because Edge is such a great singles competitor as well. Christian himself, I was never a fan of the singles Christian. I thought he was a very annoying competitor. Always really frustrated me, really. But Edge, I think, is just that talisman of the team. I think he can pull something out where other people might not be able to. Of course, Edge is rated around about 90, I think. Whereas Christian, I think, is only about 85, 86. And I think that's sort of the same as we've got set up here for Tangaroa and Tama Tonga as well. I believe we've got Tama Tonga set around about an 87. And Tangaroa is around about an 83. And it looks like this is Extreme Rules as well. I said I made this card and I can't remember for the life of me what I did, but evidently I've made this one an Extreme Rules match there, as Edge was just attacking Tangaroa with a baseball bat until Tama Tonga came across with a sledgehammer and took him out, and now Edge takes the sledgehammer away from Tama Tonga as Christian catches Tangaroa with the elbow drop. Edge now with a power slam, and now Tangaroa has the baseball bat straight across the back of Christian. And another baseball bat straight across the back of Edge, but Edge didn't really sell it the first time, but did drop the second time, and now Tangaroa actually caught the back of Tama Tonga there with the baseball bat as well, and a great spinning heel kick there by Christian. And this match really could go either way at the moment. Both teams are looking very, very strong. Big knee to the gut there by Tama Tonga. And again, it just looks very evil versus... that was group of words that didn't really work very well there, wasn't it? Yeah, the match is looking pretty even at the moment. It seems to be one member of one tag team and one member of the other tag team always seem to be in control. Edge now sending Tama Tonga over the top. Christian catching Tangaroa with that running forearm. And now Edge and Christian going to take advantage here. They've got Tangaroa inside the ring on his own with both members. Edge has a baseball bat which he swings once again at Tangaroa and straight across the forehead. And now Edge taking out Tama Tonga as well. Edge is a right demon with that baseball. That could be enough, you know. 1, 2. Oh, it's not. I thought that baseball bat was going to be enough to finish both members of the Empire off, and it almost was. Edge now bringing Tangaroa back up to his feet, and Tangaroa reverses into a Russian leg sweep, and now Tama Tonga, big kick to the side of the head of Christian. Now a Hurricanrana as well. Tama Tonga with that baseball bat straight across the chest of Edge. And now it looks like they're going to get some retribution here on Edge with that baseball bat. Edge with a great full Nelson slam as Christian with the pin now on Tangaroa. It's only a 2 count though. Christian now with a reverse atomic drop. Christian now makes way up onto the middle rope once again. Diving double elbows. And Edge and Christian now in control of this, I'll say, as Tama Tonga catches Edge with the arm breaker. Now the Empire looking in control. Tangaroa looks to be lining up Edge in the background there. Tama Tonga gets caught with the elbow in the face there by Christian. There's the crossroads in the background there by Tangaroa on Edge. Tama Tonga has taken Christian out of the match, and they've done it. The Empire have done it. Wow, and what was quite a quick match as well, really. The Empire have managed to win the tag team championships. It was all down to the weapons, though, I think. I think the baseball bat here did a great job on both members of both. Well, all 4 members really got taken up by the baseball bat on certain occasions. There was Tama Tonga being hit right across the forehead with it. Christian with a pin, but that was only enough for a 2 count. This was the full Nelson slam there by Edge when Christian went for another pin. I think Tama Tonga may have actually landed on top of the baseball bat and almost the sledgehammer as well. And this is the end. There's the crossroads and a Fisherman's Michinoku driver by Tama Tonga as well. And you see Tangaroa dropping into the pin, but Christian could just not get up quickly enough to break it up. And that was enough to see a brand new Raw Tag Team Champions here. So far, 2 matches and 2 brand new champions. Well done to both these guys. I wrote them off before the match, didn't I? I even said that I thought Edge and Christian were going to come out of this one on top, but evidently I was wrong. We've got brand new tag team champions for Raw. Of course, it is the final episode of Raw as well, so they're going to be the tag team champions forever now in this playlist. Nobody's ever going to take those belts away from them. So well done to the Empire, Tama Tonga and Tangaroa. And here is our next match here this evening, the Intercontinental Championship match, as Seth Rollins defends his Intercontinental Championship against AJ Styles in a tables match. And here we go, the following contest is scheduled for 1 fall. And it is for the Intercontinental Championship. Of course, Lillian Garcia has now left the WWE. I would like to say that her reasons for leaving the WWE are very, very admirable, but I must admit, she's not the best person for that role, I don't think, anyway. As a ring announcer, she's got a lot of things wrong over time. I don't know whether that's because she's been fed the wrong information, or things have changed at the last minute, or She genuinely just has cocked it up, but she's not been very good in that position, really, and it's not the reason we wanted to see it either. WWE, don't get me wrong, we don't want to see someone leaving the WWE because they have to take care of an ill relative, but that's the reason she has left. But I think it gives more opportunity now for somebody else to step up and take their opportunity. Of course, Eden was doing a lot of it down in NXT, but since Cody Rhodes left, she left as well. So that leaves a gap there for some possible people to give an opportunity to have a try. I'm sure there are other people that do it as well anyway. Now, you just don't really notice who these people are, do you? You don't really pay much attention to them, do you, really? So there is the challenger, AJ Styles, the first Intercontinental Champion in this Universe mode, of course, defeated Finn Balor on day number 1. Held the belt for quite some time before losing it to somebody. Can't remember who, though. Can't remember who it was. It wasn't Seth Rollins, was it? I can't remember now. I want to say Bray Wyatt, you know. I'm not sure. I don't think that's right, though. It might be, though. No, Bray Wyatt went for the Intercontinental Championship against Seth Rollins, but never won it, did he? I can't remember who AJ Styles lost it to now. But either way, he's back here this evening, trying to win it back. Seth Rollins, of course, won the Intercontinental Championship in a 6-man ladder match. Has held that ever since. That was a couple of months ago now, I think. So I'm sure he'll be hoping to keep a hold of that for a bit longer. And of course, if he can defeat AJ Styles here in this one match, he'll know he'll hold on to that championship for eternity in this Universe mode. But of course, in our new Universe mode starting tomorrow, Seth Rollins has some slightly bigger fish to fry in the shape of the Universal Championship, which we have no idea what it's going to look like as yet. So I'm a little bit... I don't know how I'm going to play that one out, really. I think we'll probably just not have a championship until SummerSlam has happened, and then we'll download it, because I'm sure somebody will make it pretty quick. But yeah, here we go. AJ Styles and Seth Rollins for the Intercontinental Championship, and we are underway. Now, I've not done many ladder matches in this Universe mode, but... I've not done many tables matches in this ladder match. What is going on? I've not done many table matches in this Universe mode as of yet, but the ones we have done have all worked out pretty well, actually. I'm a little bit surprised at how well some of them do work out, so it'd be nice to see if this one does work out pretty well. I think we've seen some good finishes before. I remember seeing somebody get superplexed through a table at one point. Was that this year's or was that last year's? I think that might have been this year's. I seem to recall it being this year's. Big drop kick there by Seth Rollins, taking AJ Styles down. And now Seth, can he take advantage of this? Of course, it's going to be difficult in this table situation. I think both these guys might be more suited to potentially putting their opponent on the table and then trying to catch them with an aerial maneuver. Of course, Seth does have the pedigree to try and do it, but I don't think those tables are strong enough to potentially stand on top of somebody and put somebody through. I think what 2K should probably integrate a bit more into next year's game is that in a tables match, if you put your opponent up against the table and then try a grapple move, maybe you have to have a finisher, then potentially you could powerbomb your opponent through the table, or you could flapjack them through, or you could suplex them through, or you could do something a bit more like that, because I think the whole idea of you both standing on the table and trying to hit a move is not realistic, because these tables are so weak. Great step up into Guri there by AJ Styles, taking Seth Rollins down, and Seth Rollins looked flat out there for a second, and a rolling elbow as well by AJ Styles. So I'm really looking forward as well in our new Universe mode to doing the NXT roster, because since the last time we did NXT, things have changed greatly. There are new people in there now. A couple of new tag teams, of course. You've got the Authors of Pain, and you've got TMK61, I think it is, or just TM161. You've got, of course, Austin Aries and Shinsuke Nakamura, are brand new. Cien Almas, No Way Jose, all new as well. We've got Tommy End coming soon. Kota Ibushi is not going to be signing with NXT. He was at New Japan this weekend, and he said, when asked in an interview if he was going to sign with WWE, he said that he doesn't want to sign a full-time deal with anyone. That includes New Japan and it includes WWE. He said he might still continue working odd appearances for WWE as an NXT wrestler, but apart from that, he will not be signing full-time at the moment. Which is an interesting debate there, isn't it, really? So yeah, I think NXT is going to be a great new brand for us to have a go at. Of course, Ciampa and Gargano are going to be officially signed as well. I think it's not been made official yet. No one's actually said they're definitely getting signed. But AJ Styles put himself through a table there by mistake. Obviously, that doesn't count because your opponent has to put you through the table to win the match. Yeah, nothing's been said official about Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, but you know, as soon as a wrestler says that he's going to end up his independent wrestling commitments, you know exactly what's happening. And that's the same thing with Tommy End. Tommy End today was his last appearance for Southside Wrestling in the UK, which is the company that I've been to see him wrestle for a lot of times. It's a bit of a shame, really, because I've not been to Southside in such a long time now, and it's a bit of a shame because I didn't realise it was his last appearance until I saw it on Twitter this morning, and it was sold out by then. I was going to go down, but it was sold out. So yeah, he'll be going across to America to join up with NXT soon. Yeah, Gargano and Ciampa have both also announced their finale independent date, so it looks like they're going to be signed up officially in the next set of signings. And I thought that was going to happen mainly because if you don't know the spoilers yet for NXT, then please mute your microphone for a second. Well, not your microphone, but your speakers. It is already scheduled in for NXT TakeOver It's already scheduled in for NXT TakeOver for Gargano and Ciampa to take on the Revival for the Tag Team Championship. So as soon as I heard they were going to go for the Tag Team Championships, I thought to myself, well, surely they must be signing him up as a full-time member of the roster rather than having him as a sort of like a bit part player or anything like that. So that's pretty good. Also, Oni Lochran or Biff Busick, he is now a full member of the NXT roster, so I'll be using him as well. I think Rich Swann will be. I didn't realise. I was a little bit annoyed with WWE not using Rich Swann, but after watching the Cruiserweight Classic the other day, I did hear the commentators mention that Rich Swann has been out injured for quite some time with a shoulder injury, and that match at the Cruiserweight Classic was his first match back. So that makes me think that he is going to be going back onto NXT television pretty soon, maybe after the NXT TakeOver, because I think we're already pre-recorded up until NXT TakeOver now. So that'd be pretty cool to see that transpire. Big spine buster there by AJ Styles and Seth Rollins. Now AJ just stamping on the knee of Seth as well. Brings him back up to his feet. And also Athena. Oh, German suplex, and AJ almost put Seth through that table, but the leg buckled before the table did. Yeah, Athena, also now known as Ember Moon, will be making her debut in NXT at TakeOver Brooklyn as well. So we'll be adding her into our roster. Because NXT is struggling at the moment with female wrestlers. I'm thinking we'll probably use some of the people that WWE do use as well, like if we can get a Tessa Blanchard and people like that, just to help boost up the women's roster, as AJ Styles now locking in the Styles Clash and dropping Seth Rollins on the top of a steel chair, as well as the debris from that broken table from earlier on. And I tell you what, I think table matches do work quite well on this game. I think this has been a pretty decent match. Both guys, I think the mechanics work pretty well in this game. So sort of both guys have been trying to put their opponents through tables. They've used the chair as a weapon as well. Even using the grounded chair as a weapon there by AJ Styles, hitting that Styles Clash. And I think it's probably one of the only game modes, well, some of the actual gimmick matches on this game, the AI is not very good. As AJ now, I thought he was going to go for it there, but I think he was a little bit shorter than what he thought. He wasn't quite as close to that table. Yeah, there's a few of the gimmick matches that don't really work too well. Like, cage matches on this game don't really work too well. AI versus AI. Hell in a Cell, AI does not even pay any attention to the fact they're in a cell. I would like the AI to be updated so that they know they're in a cell and they will try and break free and use the tables around them and the weapons around them. I think that'd be pretty cool. And I would like to see more utilisation of the environment. And same with a ladder match as well. Ladder matches don't work tremendously well because so many times people just can't seem to latch on to whoever it is trying to get a hold of the briefcase. But Seth Rollins here has AJ Styles on the table. Can he put him through and retain his championship? He does. There's the big frog splash by Seth Rollins from the top rope. And he puts AJ Styles through the table and retains his Intercontinental Championship in what was a pretty good match. Like I said, this gimmick match is probably one of the only ones that do actually work. And we're making pretty short work of the highlights in this one as well, aren't we? You see Seth just making sure that AJ was fully down and out before he went up to the top rope. And summoning the spirit of Eddie Guerrero, as a lot of wrestlers tend to do, because he was just such an inspiration to so many guys who are of a smaller size. Using that frog splash to retain the Intercontinental Championship here over AJ Styles. And what a tremendous run Seth Rollins has been on in this Universe mode. And I would imagine that he'll continue that tremendous run into our new Universe mode as well, starting tomorrow on Raw. Of course, he will be facing off against Finn Balor at SummerSlam for the Universal Championship in real life and in our Universe mode as well. So it'd be pretty damn interesting to see exactly how well he does in our new Universe mode. And here is our final match of the first part of the video. It is going to be the European Championship match as Cesaro defends against Tommy End. And here we go with our final match of part number 1 of this video. And the following match is scheduled for one fall. And it is for the European Championship. First, making his way to the ring, the European Champion, the Swiss Superman Cesaro. So Cesaro has been dominant since he became the champion. And as I mentioned before, it's a pretty interesting way this European Championship has worked in the past. It seems to have been that the champion always comes into a pay-per-view pretty dominant, but then seems to struggle. And it was the same for Cesaro when he took the championship away from Macho Man Randy Savage. Savage was in an immense run of form. He had so many momentum boosts. He had so many hot streaks. Yet Cesaro managed to just take that championship away from him like he wasn't even trying. And it was the same before then for Macho Man Randy Savage, who wasn't in the best vein of form. But Owen Hart was in incredible form. Owen Hart had defeated some real top-class competitors right at the beginning of the Universe mode. And again, in comes Macho Man Randy Savage and takes the belt away from Owen Hart. And at the moment, Cesaro's in such a rich vein of form, coming straight off a victory only a few days ago now, against Tommy End's tag team partner Michael Dante, the other half of the Sumerian Death Squad. Is that going to be a position where Tommy End is going to want some retribution? He looks like he wants retribution. Look at the look on Tommy End's face. He doesn't look like he's in the best of moods, does he really? And I can't wait for Tommy End to debut. I know I've said this in like every single video over the last few weeks, but I can't wait for this man to debut in NXT. For me, he's an absolutely incredible wrestler. He's absolutely top level. And I think he's going to be very much liked by the fans. He's very intense. He's very aggressive. I don't know if he's either going to be put down as a heel, or he's going to be put down as sort of like an anti-hero sort of face. Very much like the CM Punk sort of version, where he doesn't take no shit. He's not there to pander to the fans. He's here to turn up, kick ass and go home. That's what he's there for. But I wouldn't surprise me if they do make him into a heel to start things off. It's easy for WWE to make foreigners heels. That's generally what they try and do. And Tommy End starting things off well here with the side headlock. Tommy End now just pushing Cesaro back. But Cesaro using his great ability there to break free. Reminds me of the match I saw just a few days ago. The Jack Gallagher match in the Cruiserweight Classic. I must admit, I've not seen much of Jack Gallagher. I know most of the wrestlers in the Cruiserweight Classic. I've heard the name of Jack Gallagher, but I've never seen him wrestle before, and I've become an instant fan straight away. He was incredible in that match. And it makes you wonder just how far he can go in this Cruiserweight Classic. And I think he'll be someone, and I'm sure I read that he was one person that WWE were looking at to sign up straight away. And I wonder whether he might be brought in, that's embarrassing, I wonder whether he might be brought in as maybe a leader of the, a few people have said this, like a leader of the Vaudevillains, but I wonder, a lot of it might depend on Simon Gotch, who of course has got himself in trouble for having a fight the other day, backstage on the draft episode, against, well I say a fight, he got the crap knocked out of him by Sin Cara, but still it's I wonder what they might do with him, because it'll be a bit strange to bring him onto the main roster and have him separate to the Vaudevillains, since their gimmicks are so similar. Both guys now on the outside. Cesaro sending Tommy End across there via his neck. A very, very dangerous move. And of course, so far we've had such a good show. We've seen 2 championships change hands, 1 stay where it is. In the second part of this video, of course, that will be uploaded within the hour after this one finishes, we will have, probably be uploaded right about now actually, not too far away. I generally upload it an hour after this video has been uploaded, so if you've watched this whole video, then you're only going to have like a 5-10 minute wait. But of course, in that one, we are going to start things off with American Alpha versus the Club in a tag team championship match for SmackDown. Then we're going to have the 6-man Cruiserweight ladder match for Phoenix's Cruiserweight Championship. And then finally, we are going to have the Raw Fatal 4-Way Championship match with Daniel Bryan defending against Owen Hart, Goldberg, and The Rock. So it's going to be pretty good. Pretty good. This entire pay-per-view's been pretty good, actually. I'm quite happy with it. Big German suplex there by Cesaro. Folding Tommy End like an accordion. Tommy End now, big back elbow to Cesaro. And another big right hand to Cesaro as well. Now taking Cesaro up onto the top rope. Tommy End now, what's he looking for? Looks to be a big superplex, and he hits it perfectly. And that was a big knee drop, and Tommy End almost got like 5-6 feet off the ground to hit that. Tommy End now sending Cesaro into the ring corner so hard that he comes bouncing back. Cesaro comes back though, catching Tommy End there with the jawbreaker, and now a big drop kick as well. Cesaro dropping an elbow onto the inside of the knee of Tommy End, bringing him back up to his feet. And into the big European uppercut. Tommy End flops to the ground like a sack of spuds. In for the pin goes Cesaro. 2. Oh, it's almost a 3 count. Not quite enough though. Both guys back up to their feet. Tommy End with a Northern Light suplex. Now just turn the arm of Cesaro into the... Oh, that's painful, that is. That's a clever move by Tommy, and we know Cesaro depends a lot on his strength. And by taking out an arm like that, that could be greatly reducing the amount of damage you can do to yourself. Tommy End now lining Cesaro up. Big drop kick, smashes him into the corner. And now Tommy End just forcing a knee into the face as well. Tommy End bringing Cesaro away from the corner. Drops into a pin. I thought he might be looking potentially to go for the double foot stomp. 1, 2. Only a 2. Tommy End now just twisting the head of Cesaro. He does look really cool as well, doesn't he, Tommy End? I don't think this core really does him justice. I know it's I know how difficult making a core is, especially when a man has got as many tattoos as this man has, Tommy End. It can become very, very difficult, but if you see him in real life, then you start to really understand the how amazing his look is. He looks like a perfect wrestler. Plus, he comes from a pretty strong background of kickboxing as well. So he's got a lot of different aspects to his match. He's a very good kicker and very good with the knees as well, knee strikes, and that's the main part of his match. As I said before, I've seen him knock a guy out with a side kick before. The guy had to be helped away after the match. He was that sort of out of it, you could sort of imagine the birds just flying around his head at the same time. Big knee to the back there by Tommy End, who now is in full control of this match, and spoke too soon. Cesaro comes up with a knee to the face of Tommy End. Now bringing Tommy End back to his feet. And another big European uppercut out of nowhere by Cesaro, and that could be enough for him to defend his championship. No. Tommy End no sells it. He's straight back up to his feet. Cesaro, front chancery. Slamming an arm against the back of the arm of Tommy End, but still Tommy End not going down. And still Tommy End stays on his feet after uppercut. Cesaro throwing Tommy End into the corner. And now he looks to be locking Tommy End into the Tree of Woe. Tommy End is still not down the ground, but now he is. Assisted lung blower from the corner. Cesaro went for a belly-to-belly suplex, but Tommy End broke free. Now Tommy End putting Cesaro against the ropes. What's he going to go for here? Sending him off to the other side. Big knee strike. I don't think he quite caught all of it, but it was enough to take Cesaro down. Then Tommy End with the kicks. Big overhand punch. Now Tommy End locking the leg. Once again for that suplex slam combination. What's Tommy End looking for now? He's thinking about his slow, methodical style. He's trying to identify exactly how he wants to dismantle his opponent. It's that twisting neck breaker. And Cesaro is well positioned here. If Tommy End can hit this, if he can hit the double foot stomp, then he could be our new European champion. Cesaro stirring slightly. Tommy End waits. And Cesaro catches him in the uppercut from the top rope. And I thought he had it. I thought Tommy End was going to win the European Championship, but Cesaro played possum fantastically, and he caught Tommy End in that very European uppercut from what potentially was going to be a double foot stomp. And wow, what a match that was between these two. I'm thoroughly impressed by this. Thoroughly impressed. Granted, I wanted, unofficially, I wanted Tommy End to win this one. I'm a big Tommy End fan. I really want him to win this one, but still it was a really good match, and I thought Tommy End was going to win it when he went up to the top looking for that double foot stomp, but Cesaro was playing possum. He knew exactly what he was doing, and just as Tommy End took the dive, Cesaro sprung back up to his feet and caught Tommy End with that very European uppercut, which we probably will see in a second. That was that T-bone front slam. And that slap. I don't remember seeing the slap. But that was enough for a 2 count as well. And here we see Tommy End going up top. And Cesaro was stirring, so Tommy End sort of delayed what he was going to do. And then finally Tommy End went for the dive, and Cesaro just caught him with that upper European uppercut. The referee flinched in the background, you see, and it was enough to finish Tommy End off, knocked unconscious with that uppercut. And Cesaro retains his European Championship, which he's held for quite some time in this universe mode. So happy to see that. Cesaro is somebody we're going to be focusing on quite a bit in our Raw roster starting tomorrow as well. I'm a big fan of Cesaro, and I want to make sure he is used effectively. So that is the end of part number 1 of this video. I hope you do like it, and if you have liked it, then please hit the like button. Like it doubly. Enjoy it, like it, and then like it, button press and like it, if that makes sense. And of course, if you are new around here, be sure to subscribe as well for a lot more of the WWE 2K16 Universe mode. Of course, this one is coming to an end after our second part of Battleground, but then we're starting a brand new one tomorrow with the new rosters from Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, so be sure to keep an eye out for them. Yeah, be sure to keep an eye out for part number 2 of this video as well. It should be uploaded very, very soon, within the next sort of 5-10 minutes, and once it is, there will be a link in the description below for it as well. I've been Shabby Gamer, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in part number 2.